Shola Ilesanmi was a journalist who was with us here on this campus, right? He started just like our friends here, and he became someone that even us, his colleagues, looked up to while he was here. He was always finding solutions to issues. So Shola Ilesanmi would call me in the morning, at 2 a.m. in the night, and he's talking about, bros, there's this story in Akungba-Akoko, in one thing. He will mention one name. We'll talk about it. He's looking at how he can find solutions. Not just investigating those stories, but finding solutions to those stories. And we think the best way we can immortalize him is to have this program in place. So this is the maiden edition of the Shola Ilesanmi Story Clinic. And like I said there are so many social issues around us that some of us may not see, or we don't even know how to go about them. So I brought with me here today 3 experienced journalists who will be having a chat with us just on how, in practical terms, we can go about some of these stories. I know that some of us may not really be interested in journalism, but for those who want to go far and deep in journalism, I mean, one of the trending thing now is solutions journalism, and that's why we're here. We're not just investigating, we're finding solutions to issues. So I have with me here, on my immediate left, Mrs. Adekunle Ajasin, who is a broadcast journalist. This is what we would have loved, wished that we do for him. So at his night of tributes last year, we made a promise that in his honor, we are going to start this series of story clinic for specifically targeting campus journalists across the country. Because that's what Shola Ilesanmi stood for. And age. That won't earn you a big name. Am I right? Yes. The governor came and he said, and I quote, almost forget. You understand? You just be there and be writing, said, and I quote, for 10 years. So if you are doing journalism, it's sweet, it's interesting, but you have to push the limit. So some of us don't read. I work with a former governor as a special assistant of media and digital communications. So most times when we go out and I see my colleagues asking questions, I say, Shele, you okay? Do you understand? Because when you wake up in the morning, the first thing you do is that whichever feed that you subscribe to, is it Google Alert, is it Twitter, is it whatever thing, I'm not talking about Facebook when somebody is doing birthday. They are celebrating, sharing cake or one thing. Or you are Snapchatting, or you are Instagramming. No. And if you are on Instagram, who are you following? Which organizations are you following? As a student, how many pitches have you dropped, have you sent? Okay, fine. If you want to be in PR, how many agencies are you following on social media? Do you know what they are doing? How many of their copy, how many things are you reading? So what Juliet was saying is you read. So that you can bring in new angles, something new.
So basically, number one, there is no story you are telling that someone else has not done before. That is one thing you should know. If you are pitching a story, on sex education, you are pitching a story on a community that does not have lights, you are pitching a story on exploitation or criminal issues. Just know is that, one, someone else has done this somewhere. So the question is, what are you bringing into that story that makes it new? What makes your own story different from what has been done before? That is what a reporter should ask his or herself. When you sit down to say, okay, I want to pitch this story. Among applications of 1,500, several others will be coming in. Why should your own be number one? And that is where you think of why it should be different.
To know first is, as a journalist, you need to have contacts you can call. Not that something will happen and the next thing is, your bosses might call you from anywhere and want you to do a story on what's happening in so-so place, and you're like, I can't go there and I don't have anyone there I can call. Then why are you a journalist? The first tool you need as a journalist is contacts. You need to have people you can call at any time. I need a story in Ibadan, who do I call? I need a story in Kano, who do I call? If I call this person, will the story the person is giving me be credible? You should mind that too.